ladies and gentlemen, it's Monday night, and if you're tuning in, that means you have massive heat. I'm Jack Farmer, being joined by Raj Geary and Matt Morgan. And, you know, Raj, you showed up last. I'm going to go straight to you for the intro. 3-hour Raws, the thing of the past. I guess not. Here we are, late night for the review.
Yeah. You know, tonight's Raw was a little longer than usual, but it still beats 3 hours for sure. And thankfully, the 3-hour SmackDowns are now a thing of the past as well.
Yeah, Matt, how do you feel about the length of these shows? I'm a big believer. I always say I get crabby after 120 minutes of anything, movies, TV shows, whatever. 120 minutes, I start to get crabby. Where do you fall in the length of a show?
I was getting there tonight until I saw how the main event match finished, which I loved. And sorry, I have the Kool-Aid tongue. I had to try to force my son to drink Kool-Aid for the first time, and it wasn't working, so I had to do it myself. Secondarily, with the promo we got from Roman, etc., it was worth it. I keep it at $1. It was definitely worth it for me.
Well, we hope everyone who's joining us, it's worth it for you. Of course, we'll talk about all the details of self-promotion in a little bit. But for now, I just want to remind everyone, this is a new show, Massive Heat, on the Podcast Heat Wrestling Network. So give us a like, a comment, a share, subscribe to help promote and grow the show. We appreciate all of you, especially those of you in the chat, like Blopey. Am I saying that right, Blopey? Let me know if I'm saying your name right. Bigfoot Sneakerhead, Piers Austin, Jeff Bailey in the chat. We got everyone coming through.
Hang on, slow down. We got to give a special shout out to, you said BFS. That's what we call him. Bigfoot Sneakerhead. We love him. We've always loved him. And folks, sorry for the George the Animal Steel tongue, because I'm seeing it in the camera right now, but nonetheless.
That doesn't look like Jell-O. That looks like you swallowed dye.
No, it wasn't Jell-O. No. It was definitely not Jell-O. It was Kool-Aid.
Oh, Kool-Aid. Yeah.
And I'm trying to make my son understand that this is a cool drink. Every kid loves this. You should love this. And being a terrible dad forcing it on him. But it failed.
And if you want to drink the Kool-Aid, remember, like, comment, share, subscribe.
You know, I don't think my daughters have ever had Kool-Aid, now that I think about it.
Because you're not a good dad. You should be forcing that on your kids.
Hell.
It's a rite of passage, Raj.
I need to get on this.
Yeah, Kool-Aid is great. I mean, perfect summertime drink. Kool-Aid. You got just what else you have at your I mean, any type of barbecue, any type of a watermelon would be delicious.
So, Jack, I failed miserably with fruit punch, which for sure I thought was the softest way to go.
Yeah.
And then transitioned to orange, and that's when he showed interest. So that's why.
Well, hey, as long as you chew through a turnbuckle, it's okay to look like George the Animal Steel. As long as you got that lined up, I think we're okay.
I'm going to go scrub my tongue with a toothbrush. I feel so embarrassed. I'm sorry.
You know, it's funny. A lot of folks in the chat are saying that their kids have not had Kool-Aid. So we need everyone to make sure everyone's kids drink the Kool-Aid. And also...
Or Tang at least? Chat. Tang, come on. Tang?
Let us know in the chat if you're up to date on all of your Kool-Aid. But Bigfoot Sneakerhead with a super chat. When I get through that, shout out Bigfoot Sneakerhead. Now I know you like him so much, Matt. Says, I was at TNA Slammiversary last night. Matt, wish you were there. AJ Pop was amazing. I plan to get into some conversation about TNA throughout today. But if you guys like, let's just dive into TNA right now if you guys are ready.
I'm ready.
I want to talk first off attendance records getting set. Now, Matt Morgan, I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. TNA announced specifically said, this is per Sports Illustrated and Twitter, TNA Slammiversary 2025 set a brand new attendance record for the company. During the show, the TNA announce team revealed to the audience that Slammiversary drew 7,682 fans inside the UBS Arena in New York. That figure is the largest North American crowd to ever see a TNA event. Slammiversary has been a signature event for the company for over 20 years. Now you're shaking your head no.
Hell no. Bound for Glory. You saw our text chain, guys.
Yeah.
Bound for Glory 2007, Bound for Glory 2008, Bound for Glory 2009. 10, and 11 all eclipsed those numbers. So I witnessed it. I was physically there. And I know, like, oh, Matt, you give out tickets to a certain amount of people. No. When I wrestled Kurt Angle Bound for Glory in one of the 2 main events, along with AJ Styles taking on Sting, I had story and all that, and it was in Los Angeles, which was an away game and a half for TNA at the time. We definitely eclipsed that number. So, not gets given out to people, not parties buying 350 tickets at a clip, and then having people come in there with free tickets. I don't want to crap on this company because it's my favorite company. But there's no way they did numbers we did back with Kurt Angle, Kevin Nash, Sting, Booker, Scott Steiner, Bobby Lashley, where AJ, myself, Beer Money, Hernandez, etc., was considered on the come up, which we should have considered, but we were not even close.
Fun fact: that match you had, Kurt Angle against Kurt Angle at Bound for Glory. I don't know how many people were there, but this guy was there, Matt Morgan. I saw you wrestle live at that show. That was a fun show.
Wait, time out. Wait, what? You were there?
I was there, yeah. I mean,
hang on, slow down. You're from California?
Yeah. I live here. I live here now. Yeah, I live in Redondo Beach as of now. But
Jack,
I was there. Yeah,
you were there.
It was Sting's last match. How could I miss it?
So very, very smooth going over to F you, Matt Morgan, your Kurt Angle match. I was there for this thing in his last match, which I don't blame you for. But listen to me. Nonetheless, you were there in that arena. Come on.
Yeah, it's. I mean, I can't count people, but
the number's correct.
It was part of my job. Kevin Nash taught it to me on day 2 when I joined TNA. How to count a house on like normal house show matches or live event matches that folks call it now, pay-per-view matches, and even TV when we were doing Universal Studio tape matches. He showed me literally, this is how you crowd count. It's one of the biggest lessons I was ever taught by any wrestler in my lifetime.
Well, Raj is shaking his head. Raj says that you are incorrect, Matt Morgan.
It's okay. That's okay.
The previous record was Lockdown 2013 with 7,200.
Who was the main event?
Come on, Raj. No
was
way.
That Bully Ray and Jeff Hardy?
Hell no. Well, no. There's no way that no way. Go back to the Bound for Glory. I'm not saying it's me versus Kurt that drew it. I'm not being arrogant about it.
That was
Look at the rest of the card. We had Beer Money on the card that was super hot at the time in a tag team turmoil match, including Booker T, who nonstop was with us at TNA. Sorry, Book, don't care about your feelings. It's the truth. Along with other major profile matches. Like, there's no way I buy that at all. I'm not saying, oh, man, you're being arrogant. No, I'm not. I swear to God, as my witness, I was in that arena. I had a crowd count. No way. No.
I mean, TNA definitely did do better audience viewership back then and everything. But
no, you don't have to make you feel good about it. It's okay to disagree, Raj. That's why we're here, brother. It's all good. It's all good.
But the previous record was 7,200.
7,200.
Second week in a row, folks. Wrist motion. Watch it.
Matt hates facts.
I do not buy it at all.
Everyone in the chat, let us know what you think was the highest attended.
Hang on.
It's not what you think. It's what it actually was.
No, I think it's how you feel. How do you feel about it?
No, there's a difference here. Y'all are feeling good because it was great. We saw some great pictures from my boy Adrian Hernandez, for example, who shot a great photo shot of the entire arena being packed. It was great to see. I don't want to crap on my old company. I want to build them up. But at the same time, come on. There was 5 that I can count that outdrew that event. I'm not doing it to be a douche. I want to see TNA get bigger than we ever were in years past. 10 times over. I'm 48. What am I hanging on this to? Folks, I'm in my suit and tie right now because I just came out of a Longwood City Commission meeting that was 3 hours long. And before that, our city budget workshop that was 4 hours long. And I was able to, thank God, catch up on Raw, on Netflix, in my truck before I joined our meeting here tonight. So I'm the last person to be a hater because I have no skin in the game as a pro wrestler now. Zero. I have skin in the game making my city better. That's it.
It is pretty amazing, like to think, like 2 years ago, if you were to tell me that TNA would be doing a 7,600,
love it. For the record,
I would have been like, no, that's not happening. And they,
Raj, I'm sorry, Raj. It was a great decision by them to partner with WWE.
Yeah,
and everybody goes, "Oh, they're making all NXT champions like double champions because it works." Stop hating. It absolutely works. We're getting more eyeballs on the project.
Yeah.
And the best part is that you had AJ come back. AJ, get ready to fly. I will remember this for the rest of my life. Me and my first match with AJ, I picked him up, put him up in a shoulder press, and lawn darting him out of the ring. And said, "Get ready to fly," as loud as I possibly could. And the crowd still to the day still makes memes on that, but only I will see it because nobody cares enough. But my point is that is the greatest. And AJ hates he hated his TNA entrance. I don't know why for the life of me, because it's 1,000 times better. With respect to AJ, I love you to death, bro. Way better than your WWE entrance. It's not even close.
Dude, Get Ready to Fly is a great
best. The best. I worked with him. He's my boy. And when I heard him come out there, I'm like, I'd be lying if I said, if I watched it on replay and I didn't get teary watching it, I'd be lying to you.
It was very cool getting to see AJ Styles go back.
Hell yeah.
And you got to give WWE a ton of credit in allowing stuff like that, because they could easily be like, no, he's an exclusive to us. He's a superstar. Of course you want to be exclusive. So let him go and be a part of it, even if it's to help, maybe not have a match, but to help make someone like Leon Slater look like an even bigger star.
Talk about a passing of the torch. That was perfect. I loved it.
I've never seen WWE have a partnership which benefited the other group as much as probably this TNA partnership has. Because usually it's one-sided, like for WWE.
But Raj, stop it. WWE's cornering the market. They hit everybody else. Blah, blah, blah.
But seriously, like I cannot think of one other partnership where it's really helped the other company out.
If anything...
Not anymore, Jack. Sorry.
No, I was gonna say, if anything, I think it's almost to the detriment of WWE. And sometimes I don't know if you guys watch, who is watching like NXT. I one of my complaints about NXT right now is that it feels like the whole show is promoting other companies, whether it's TNA or Evolve or LFG or the whole show is everyone else. And so, if anything, it's to the detriment. They're not even building to their own shows as much as they're building to TNA.
I'm sorry. But sir, Jack, this is a secret conspiracy theory that they're hang on, let me catch my breath. My mom just yelled at me being in our basement right now. So give me 1 second. Okay, so they're doing this because they're not being sincere about it whatsoever, Jack. They're doing it because they want to entitle encrypt all of wrestling business altogether under the WWE umbrella, and they don't care about anybody else.
Right.
Say it now, Jack.
Yes, it's to take over. I totally get it.
Zarks. Sorry, keep going.
But yeah, it's been great for TNA in every way, and I know some people may even say, "Oh, WWE just wants to take their talent at some point." But I always say, listen. If WWE wants their talent, they'll get their talent.
They're getting
contracts. They don't need to. Yes. Listen, Jack, they don't have to execute it on television. Hey, guys, by the way, we're going to take this talent from you one day. They don't have to do any of that. They don't have to share any of that.
Right.
Okay, it's so different, and I get we're in tribal, which I never thought I'd live to see the day, because back when I was a huge WCW mark, numero uno, with WWF being my secondary brand, if I'm keeping it a buck, it was.
Yeah.
I never would get pissed at somebody saying, "Hey man, I love Goldberg, but the Stone Cold guy is even better." I wouldn't get like pissy about that. I didn't care. I thought it was cool. And I'd listen to my friend that would bring up Stone Cold to me, for example. this is a way different era, though.
Yeah.
It is way more toxic now than it was back in the day. Back in the day, you could say like WCW sucks and WWF rules and whatever, but you didn't get super emotional about it, where you're like attacking someone or you're like, it's just very different than.
But again, because I know how WWE rewrites the history books. To be fair, they don't really go into detail enough, in my opinion, on how much cooler at the time. I'm just keeping it a buck. The beginning and that flint that became the fire to set off the Attitude Era was without question NWO before DX and all this other revisionist history crap happened. I'm sorry, folks. It was NWO. It was the coolest thing on the planet.
It was.
Yes. No, I always say I was a big WCW guy, and for a long time, everyone made fun of me. But I like that people are understanding how great it is now.
My life would be very different if WCW Nitro didn't come along, because that got me back into wrestling, and got me to create Wrestling Inc. and just started that, snowball. And it was all because of WCW.
Well, hang on. Let's slow down here, Jack. So when you started Wrestling Inc., Roz, which me, before I became a wrestler and then became a wrestler, cool, baby, became a wrestler, that was many of our go-tos as huge diehard fans of the business. You really think Monday Nitro or WCW and NWO was a huge part of you bringing that platform to life?
Oh yeah, I would not have gotten back into wrestling if it weren't for WCW.
Folks, you just heard that right there. That's an exclusive. Thank you, Raj, Gary, for being honest.
Right, because WWF wouldn't have gotten hot again if it weren't for WCW. It was
friggin' man.
Yeah.
Before we move on from Slammiversary, because I do want to talk all about the toxicity.
Which was huge for TNA. Hang on, Jack.
Yeah.
Which was huge for TNA. TNA, you saw the pictures from our friend Adrian Hernandez and others that showed the photos of what that arena looked like, completely encapsulated by wrestling fans going to TNA. Guys, how many times have we seen people predict TNA's death?
Yes.
I could predict 2 times while I was there for 9 years. And then once it changed ownership, they're going to die again. And they didn't. That was freaking awesome to see. And I'm proud of all those talents that are with TNA. So I might sound like a hater saying, like, we outdrew them in this year and this year. I'm being an old grizzled vet saying that. But with respect, I'm super impressed how packed that place was. That was really incredible to watch.
Oh, people said it's the death nail like every 3 weeks on this is the end. This is the end of TNA for sure.
Right. There was a time there when they were like, their TV deals kept getting downgraded, right? Like they were going to like Pop TV and then like Destination America, where I didn't even know what that was a thing.
It was like on the TV Guide channel for a while, where you would just like that old channel where you'd watch to see.
I mean, they were that cockroach, man. You couldn't kill it.
What was crazy when that was happening? There was some really good TV. Like I will argue, I came back because I wanted my son to see me wrestle live. And I came back when they were no longer on Spike. It was like 2000. My son was born in 2014. I'm going to say 2017. And I got myself in great shape. It was the most shredded I've ever been in any part of my wrestling career. And I came back and they were like on like some rando channel I've never heard of a day in my life. And they were like making a play off of where Trump had just won the presidency, Make America Great Again. And they were running this campaign that we had to say, make wrestling great again. And yeah, it was cheesy, but at the same time, it was on such a jabron channel that nobody knew we were at. And I really think people missed EC3 in his prime, cutting gangbuster promos, definitely heavyweight champion potential guy, the main guy, if I can argue that. And everybody missed it because we were no longer on Spike TV at this time.
You know who else we missed? Who never got that full break was obviously Matt as well, but Monty Brown. Like I always felt like that guy.
God, go back further? Yeah, Monty Brown. Monty Brown was the whole package. Oh my God, you got promos. He was a stick of dynamite. His matches were intense as crap, and his promos were so original.
Great.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, he was one of those guys that you would the classic, like, they don't have one of these over in WWE. You see him and like, this is totally different than what I see on the other guys. But I want to know, Matt, when will the Blueprint show up at a Slammiversary one of these times and come in as a legend to come show up at one of these big events? Does the phone ring for you? Do we got to tell them to ring your phone?
It does. They have. But like, again, I'm not trying to be a douche about it, but like, I have responsibilities, right? I work for 2 different jobs, City of Longwood, number 1, and number 2, I work for Orlando Recovery Center, getting drug addicts like myself and people with mental health primary issues into treatment, right? So that is a 24/7 day a job, as you can imagine. And I take pride in that. And I do take pride in my wrestling career. And let me keep it a buck. Of course I do. I did it for 14 years. It bought this house with cash, my cars with cash. I'm not saying to brag. I'm saying because I owe my entire livelihood to pro wrestling and me being a fan of it, becoming one, and especially with TNA. But they had me back, I want to say 2 years ago on their television show where I came. They were here locally here in Florida. So I came and cut a promo with one of the local talents at the time, who obviously made fun of me or did something crazy. I just ate it. Yeah. As the old guy going, hey, wow, that guy's pretty good. Something crazy like that.
Yeah. Well, always never enough Blueprint on TV, even though you're busy. But one more thing, because it came in, Stephen Camp. And by the way, if you want to make sure that your questions get mentioned here, make sure to use the super chat. That gets your chat bumped right up to the top. But Stephen Camp has a question that a lot of people ask, but Matt Morgan, you are a little more qualified than others to answer it. Mount Rushmore of TNA.
Don't do this to me. Come on, Stephen Camp.
We're doing it live, too.
Okay.
You can't put yourself on there, by the way.
Yeah, you can't put yourself.
I have no business putting myself on. So I had a great run. I headlined 9 of those 9 pay-per-views with TNA. That's nothing remotely close. And I said it yesterday on Twitter. AJ is Mr. TNA. He always will. I love Jeff Jarrett to death. He created the company. He, Mr. TNA, it's always been from day one. Day one, AJ with double ears being pierced and his sweet headband on. From day one, it's been AJ Styles. So AJ Styles, without question, goes on number 1. Number 2 is Samoa Joe. Number 3 is Chris Daniels. Ooh.
Because do you put like a Sting on there, or
I know what you're gonna say, because part of you wants to put Kaz on here, Kazarian, but if we're talking about drawn audiences and being a draw, you've got to look at some of the former WWE or former WCW talents here, and I'm gonna, you know what? F it. I'm going with Kurt Angle because his best wrestling matches, including WWE, go back, folks. I'm not exaggerating. His best wrestling matches were in TNFA. So Kurt's my 4th.
I think it works. I mean, Ricky Sinclair says AJ, Daniels, Samoa Joe, ...
That's 3.
They got Sting, Kurt, Jarrett, Joe.
Jeff Jarrett has to be on there, right? Because
no, he has to be because he originated it. But I'm sorry.
I think Jeff Jarrett over Christopher Daniels.
No, not match-wise. I love Jeff to death, but not match-wise. Come on.
And then Bobby Roode. I mean, there's some.
Yes, Bobby Roode should be in the conversation. So should James Storm.
I was gonna say the Mount Rushmore of TNA. That fourth spot is like the toughest Mount Rushmore question.
And look, Hulk Hogan. As much as you don't associate Hogan with TNA, they did their biggest numbers when Hogan was there.
He's my goat. Hang on. Hang on, Jack. So back in the 80s, that was my goat. He was. Until I got into the business myself and I understood what guys are capable of being in the ring and who's good, who's not. Hang on. Jeff Jarrett, AJ, Simone. 1, 2, EY.
Wow, Eric Young.
Okay, there we go. Wow, is that the same person voting twice? Raj, no Hogan. No, come on, Jeff Bailey. Do better than that. Raj.
No.
Raj hated on us. Don't make him. No, Raj hated on us. He was covering WWE way more than us. He hated us. He thought we were all jabrones.
Look, I don't pick Hogan, but I'm just saying there could be an argument made for him.
I mean, but then also there's so many people who have been there for the past, like you mentioned, like an EC3 or the people who carried the torch after a lot of those guys from the early days.
We weren't doing our best ratings when that was happening, etc., etc. It's got to be AJ. It's got to be Joe. I have a hard time separating Daniels here. I know he was a main event talent for the most part, but like he's the equation in all the best TNA matches of all time. If you go back and watch the top 5 matches, I'll bet you my house, Chris Daniels is a part of 2 to 3 of them.
Kind of a Mr. Perfect of TNA.
That's a great analogy.
But
with Kurt finishing off Mount Rushmore.
Speaking of high times and low times, we also had another show that happened.
Real quick, actually, Kumar, how isn't Sting a lock? I kind of think man, Sting did he did cement TNA in a lot of ways.
If you're looking at it from a non-actual when the bell rings, and I'm calling his comeback for him as a guy who's been there on 6 months on my job at the time.
Yeah.
I don't want to crap on Sting. I love him to pieces. Every single heel that's ever worked against him will tell you the same thing I'm saying. And I'm not trying to disrespect Sting. I love him to death. He helped put me over. He didn't have to do any of that. But that's a big part of the equation as well, right? Where I'm 6 months in, I'm calling your comeback for you. Come on.
Would you put Sting on
Star-wise, yes.
Would you put him on the AEW Mount Rushmore?
Hang on. There's 2 different Mount Rushmores we're talking about. Yeah. So getting attention on the product Mount Rushmore, we're talking, yes, Hogan. We are talking definitely Sting numero uno. Jeff Jarrett. And those folks, but not actual wrestling matches that drew ratings with respect.
Okay.
So, I think this is an argument we could have forever, but
can I just say it one more time? Because if people take my things out of context, one more time. Joe, no, not Joe. AJ, Joe, Daniels, Kurt.
I think that's a good one. Those are the four I think of when I think of TNA.
Kurt gave us the most legitimacy our company ever had, including Sting. And I think I'm nuts for saying that, but I'm sorry. He came from WWE red hot with us to TNA, and Sting did help us as well. I'm not going to pretend he didn't. Not more than Kurt. No way.
Kurt was probably the biggest signing in pro wrestling.
Absolutely. And you remember Sting had a couple years between him coming to TNA and WCW. That was nobody was thinking about WCW no more.
Yeah.
Kurt Angle, former heavyweight champion multiple times, coming to that was huge. So huge.
Yeah. And I want to say this before people take my words out of context. I think
Kurt was the biggest
non-WWE signing until AEW came around and when they signed Punk. But up until that point, I think Kurt Angle, even though they got Hogan and everything, I think Kurt Angle was the one where he was super red hot in WWE and he came over. And that was gigantic.
And I'm sorry, AJ. Raj, he wrestled. If you go back and watch it, he gave us all his best.
Yeah.
He led me through a 20-minute match. Giants like me, we don't wrestle 20-minute matches. And he gave it to me. And it was perfect against the booking that was horrible booking. And not many talents can do that. I can speak from experience. He's the best I've ever been in the ring with.
Well, speaking of the best, Podcast Eat Wrestling is the best place to get your pro wrestling insight and news. Subscribe and hit the bell so you never miss anything. Subscribers can be in the chat, and super chats, as mentioned, always get bumped to the top. You can celebrate the latest and greatest in pro wrestling with Hall of Famers, legends, and today's stars like Eric Bischoff, Lex Luger, Mick Foley, Jim Ross, Jeff Jarrett, JBL, Tully Blanchard, The Godfather, and more appear across the Podcast Seat Network. Jeff Jarrett's one of our teammates. We should have said he's on the Mount Rushmore. But also ECW founder Todd Gordon, WWE Creative Force David Sahadi, Attitude Era favorite D'Lo Brown, and many more. Also, you can check out the Santana interview from last week.
Hey, can I just jump in right there? The David Sahadi podcast I watched on Podcast Eat. Guys, I worked with him at TNA, and I was so blessed to have worked with this guy. He's responsible. I'm just going to keep it a buck with all of your favorite attitude packages. End of story. From, oh God.
He did My Way, right? WrestleMania 17.
He did that. He also did my personal.
So good.
My Way was amazing with him and we're rocking Stone Cold.
You're right. That's an all-time.
That might be the best
of the song, punching each other 100 miles an hour. Yeah, but I'll do you one better. It was oh God. Oh, the Creed song, When You Are With Me. That song.
Yeah.
That is the first one he's responsible for. And in my opinion, the best ever because it applies to every WWE star at the time being platformed to the dopest song in America, number one song in America at the time. That's when WWE really had their finger on the pulse of supplying music with these hot videos of all the greatest wrestlers in the company at the time. And it always fit so superbly, so perfectly. David Sahadi, I'm telling you, everybody thinks Kevin Dunn's this, and that. I'm not saying he's not, but he's not compared to David Sahadi when it comes to those electric packages, which I would always call them electric packages.
So yeah, everyone, you definitely need to check that out. I mean, I didn't know any of that stuff, but that is that's incredible. Yeah, the My Way, by the way, like definitely an all-timer.
Dope, very dope.
Before we move on, I have a bunch of stuff I want to talk about. We got this great super chat here I want to get into. Of course, everyone, thank you so much for being with us in the chat. Sports Talk with Austin super chat says Christian Cage, in my opinion, is a Mount Rushmore guy for TNA because he was the first to jump ship to TNA. It was unbelievable, and it helped put the company on the map, and Kurt Angle took to the next level.
I can't crap on that. That's a fair point. It is a fair point. But again, with respect to Christian, I'm not going to say anything negative about him. I love him to death. I love Jay to death, but it's not the same level of Kurt flipping Angle. Get out of here. Come on.
Yeah.
Kurt was a multiple. When Christian came over, it did give us legitimacy. He came before I came, so I'm not crapping on that. What I'm saying is he wasn't a multiple time former WWE heavyweight champion before he came there. In fact, he never won a heavyweight championship before he came here to win his first championship under NWA TNA at the time, right? Kurt, on the other hand, come on, guys.
So yeah, let us know in the comments, by the way, if you're not here live, add to the comment list and let us know in the comments who your TNA Mount Rushmore was.
Jack, let's extend that. Because TNA is so big and broad of the folks that made it what it was. Let's widen it. And other idiots are not smart enough to do this, but I am.
Okay. Careful. We don't know who our fans are.
Hang on. Are you done?
Yes.
I'm joking. First team, Mount Rushmore, TNA. Second team, Mount Rushmore, TNA. Third team, Mount Rushmore, TNA. That's what we want to see in your comments, folks. Let's go.
I actually really like that because there are a bunch like Mauricio in the chat saying like Gail Kim or Awesome Kong that probably
especially
deserve.
Kong. Oh, especially Kong. Hell yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, Awesome Kong was a like an attraction. Like when Awesome Kong was going to wrestle, I got to see this.
And Gail Kim. I mean, their feud. I mean, it was the precursor to what we ended up seeing in WWE.
Women's Evolution does not exist without that match. End of story.
You know, we're just watching Raw tonight, and I know we'll get into it, but just thinking about like how up and down the show, you know, how many women's segments you had, and how many
happen with that match, right?
Rhea Ripley probably had the biggest pop of the night, probably bigger than Roman.
No. We'll get into it, but it wasn't even close. It was her. She got the biggest pop. And
it was Gail Kim and Awesome Kong. I feel like they've kind of set those wheels in motion.
I want to talk a little bit about AEW.
Right.
I want to talk about their show after their big all-in event. I hop on social media, hop on Twitter, right? And I'm like, what's the world? What's the world thinking? You know, and I'm tweeting, and I'm like, you know, this is a pretty fun show. It looks like a pretty interesting venue they're at. But then I see a great divide in the world.
What happened?
A great divide between two sides. There's a lot of people like myself, like, wow, this is a cool venue. It's got a lot of personality. Then there's Raj Giri over tweeting about how it looks like it's a Mexican restaurant they're eating out of. What were
Casa Bonita?
Casa Bonita.
No.
Raj, very unhappy
hold on. Let's
what show are we talking about to make sure I heard that right? What show?
Dynamite.
Oh. All right, Raj, I'm listening.
Okay.
Raj.
So you just did a stadium show. And now you go to a show that looks like there's no one there. And then you fill it with a bunch of multi-person matches. And I was just watching it. I was like, man, there is no like marquee match on this show. Like, I just thought the show sucked. And, you know, I tweeted it out and Tony Khan got all upset. But
how do you know he got upset?
He tweeted back.
What?
Yeah.
Hang on. Tell everybody, because I didn't see it. What did he say tweeting back?
Yeah, he was just like, oh, I'm sorry you didn't like the show, but thanks for watching. You know, just, you know, kind of passive aggressive.
Tony, that's an improvement.
He was trying to get his dogs on me.
No, but that's an improvement from his normal. We're the best.
Right.
Wait, so did we find out how many folks were in attendance on that show or not?
Yeah, it was 1,100. And then the rating was one of the worst that they've ever done. They did a 0.15. They did under 600,000 viewers, which, again, you know, it's coming off of their WrestleMania.
Okay.
And, the rating just, it sucked.
You're going to hate me, Raj. Don't hate me, please. You're my buddy. You're my best friend, so don't hate me. So I got to ask the obvious question, which is, are you being hard on that man?
So I don't think so, because I think when you do a show as big, I mean, we all agree All In was a big success, right? Like,
huge success. We ranted and raved it. All three of us did.
Yep.
So when you're following that up, I feel like you need to have a Raw after WrestleMania. You know, you need that big feel, that big show. And I just felt like, you know, it was like, oh, nice. Everyone's doing their moves, but there was nothing on that show that felt special.
So, you know the MJF stuff?
I mean, that was a backstage promo. It wasn't even. He wasn't even in the ring.
I really.
There was no Omega. There was no MJF in the ring. There was no Ospreay.
Okay, so Mizark Raj, you have to have the talent in the actual live ring to be entertained.
You know, there's a difference between doing a backstage segment and then doing something in the ring.
Mick Foley used to kick ass and take names in his boiler room crap backstage pre-tapes. Come on.
30 years ago, yeah.
Am I reaching?
There's a difference.
I'm trying to help 50% of our audience not tune us out.
There was. I loved the Adam Page promo. I love the.
That was good.
I love the Tony Storm promo from the balcony. Was great.
Very good.
It was good.
I'm a big Kyle Fletcher fan, so he was on.
Me
so
too.
I count that as a win.
Me too. You think I'm nuts, folks? I think that's your next Randy Orton. I'm not saying
he's trying really hard to be Randy Orton.
No, he's not. He's not trying to be Randy Orton, but he has that physical what's the word I'm looking for? The ability you're born with, not just trained with. He has it.
I think if you're going to be someone, Randy Orton's not a bad guy. He does a lot of the same mannerisms, the same, the hands.
I think he's ahead of Randy. If you go back and watch Randy's Intercontinental Championship reign, that was handed to him way prematurely. When he was on Raw as part of Evolution, just starting off, this dude's ahead of him in this stage of the game, in my opinion, with his work rate, his characteristics, his promos. And my favorite part is his body language. He gets it. That dude. I'm sounding like a jerk saying this. I can't wait to see him one day when he goes to WWE and see what they do with him.
I think he's a massive star. He's going to be, regardless of what happens. And look, even if he's trying to be Randy Orton, if he has half the career of Randy Orton, he's going to be a Hall of Famer. So nothing wrong with that.
I don't think he is, because he's more aggressively offensive than Randy was at the same stage. Randy was not aggressive. Randy had to be pulled up from Mick and others to say, hey, kick the crap out of me, be stiff, do this, that. Randy was not like that in the beginning. Randy's not a tough guy in real life, just so everybody at home knows this. He's not tough in a real fight. He's not tough in real life. I know this firsthand. So other talents, veterans especially, had to pull that and draw that out of him, i.e. Mick Foley, when he went through that series of matches with him and spit in his face and all that other stuff. That's what really drew Randy out eventually.
Yeah, that's interesting insight. Interesting to know.
Yes, hang on. The fan just.
Akshay Kumar says Randy was the smoothest worker I've ever seen, even when he was young.
True, because he's born and bred into this business. That's not a catchphrase. That's not just some stupid hashtag. It's the truth. And he picked up things 10 times faster than John did, Cena did, Lesnar did, Shelton did, etc., because it was born into his bloodline. That's not hyperbole. It's a fact. But at the same time, he still did not have this part of it yet. Microphone to face, sell people in the arena so you get your ass kicked, Randy. Go. He had to learn that, going through what he went through with Mick, in my opinion, to push it forward. This guy, Kyle Fletcher, has already got that dick licker perfectly on point of making you want to see him get punched in his mouth.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we talked about the ratings, Raj. You mentioned the ratings were down for AEW. I know you're always on top of the ratings situation in pro wrestling. Any news or notes from wrestling ratings in the past week?
Yeah, so SmackDown, they actually did their best number since the post-WrestleMania show this last Friday. So,
oh wow,
the week before they did what I thought it was a pretty bad rating, but they were against that what's that fight that was on in Netflix? So I don't know.
The boxing match.
Yeah. So I've got to think that's what caused it, because they were up huge. They were up 11% in total viewers and then 22% in the demo. So, and again, doing their second best number, obviously now they're 2 hours as opposed to 3. So you'd expect their numbers to go up a little bit, but still a really, really strong number that they did this past Friday night.
What do you think that, because the thing is, like you'd mentioned that the ratings were down for Dynamite, but as we were talking about the venue, but I can't imagine people don't tune in because the venue.
No, I don't think it was
like
hell
no. What do you think? What do you think? It's interesting to go from a low rating to the best since their Mania week. Do you attribute that to anything? Is there something that?
I think just not having anything interesting on the show as far as like a marquee matchup. Again, I think when you're doing your post. Your biggest show of the year and you're following that up, I think you just need your star power and you need singles matches, because anytime I see a multi-person match, usually that just means we just want to get people on the show, and it's an easy way to put people on and have some action without thinking about it too much. And I think that was what hurt it. No, I didn't think it was the venue, but I did think that the venue for coming off of a stadium show, I think they should have done a bigger spot. But again, perception really matters.
Reality is reality.
No.
Last thing before we get into the day of what we saw today on Raw, because we got a lot to cover there too. WWE announced a partnership with Fandango to start showing PLEs in theaters. Matt, you've been in the wrestling business for a very long time.
Yeah.
What do you think? I'm fascinated by this because how do you count views if it's in a movie theater where you've got whatever 100 people watching it under one screen, but also would you go to a movie theater to watch a wrestling event?
Today, no. Yeah. But
Yeah.
I'd be lying to you if I said I didn't watch WrestleMania 2 in a theater. I definitely did.
Yeah.
I think most of us did, but it was a very different day and age.
Yeah.
I don't know. I might be wrong because I was wrong on the whole streaming service gimmick, right?
Mm-hmm.
I always thought TV ratings, cable ratings, this is the end all be all to decide if a company is successful or not. And I've watched it disintegrate when WWE created their own network. And then now, even further, go to Netflix. AEW is now on a streaming service as well. So I want to sound like the old grandfather here. But would I go watch a pay-per-view in a movie theater? Hell no. When I can do it right here on my damn iPhone. No, I would not.
Raj, I'd like to know your thought. I feel like today as an adult, I'm like, if I'm going to watch something like that in a group, I'd rather go to a bar and watch it or something like that. But I'm also thinking, if I'm a kid, if I'm under 21 and me and my buddies want to go see a show, that sounds like an awesome way to watch the show.
Maybe a birthday party, right, Jack? Maybe a birthday party for younger kids.
Yeah. Raj, what say you're the one with the smart business mind, smart business head on your shoulders. What do you say?
Time out. I just got done doing my city budget for the city of 16,000 residents and taxpayers. And he's I'll shut up. Go ahead, Ron. Please adorn us.
I would probably, go to like a Buffalo Wild Wings or something over a movie theater, But and you can be under 21 there, right?
Yeah.
I don't know that answer. I just know, when I was in OVW, you're right, Raj, we would go to a Buffalo Wild Wings to watch a pay-per-view, so we didn't have to pay for it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And just buy a soda. One of us would buy a soda. Or to, what was the other one? Hooters. Oh, man, you're going to be pervs, and you're looking at girls. And swear to God, our wives were always with us, FYI. And it was, you buy one Diet Coke, you got to watch the whole damn pay-per-view. That's how I saw Randy Orton win his first world title, by the way, in Kentucky, Louisville at the time, when I was in OVW.
I will say, going to a place like that, though, because I've watched a few Royal Rumbles at sports bars and stuff, and that is actually a really fun way to watch.
It is when everybody gets involved and gets pumped and hyped. You're right.
Yeah.
I just don't know how it is in the theater, but the only thing I didn't like about going to
I'm watching.
Keep it down. Turn off your phone.
Yeah, exactly.
The only thing I didn't like watching wrestling pay-per-views at a bar or something, it was hard to hear the commentary, and
that's true.
But outside of that, it was tons of fun.
We got a super chat from Bigfoot Sneakerhead coming through, and this one's coming right for you, Raj. So get ready. Says, question to Raj: do you think AEW should do what WWE is doing, separating the shows, meaning like branding Ring of Honor for Saturday, have two champions, etc.?
I don't think ROH should. I don't see the benefit of having it.
I agree.
I just don't see a reason for it. And AEW, anytime they extend, when they add new shows, they usually don't do that well. Like Collision is now where Rampage was before. I think, but then again, they're getting paid for it. So you don't want to leave that money on the table. But I just think, I don't know. I just think ROH is a waste of time.
Let me ask you a question. I'm going to intercept your question, but it's a good question. Would you take everybody they have? Well, it's the same damn roster.
Mm.
Okay, whether Tony purchased Ring of Honor or not is irrelevant. It's all the same AEW talents, right? Whether in Ring of Honor or AEW television. Do you think it would be, let me tighten this question up for Bigfoot Sneakerhead, our longtime follower and listener? Thank you, BFS. Would you divide the talent like they did with Raw and SmackDown? Overall with AEW in general.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's kind of what's hurt Collision is by not doing like a separate brand. Because remember when Collision first started, it was the CM Punk show. So it was kind of like if you wanted to see CM Punk, you had to watch Collision. True. And once they kind of got away from that, now it doesn't have its own identity anymore.
It doesn't.
And so now it's just a B programming, which
C, I would say.
If you've got nothing to do on a Saturday, it's fine. But it doesn't feel important.
It's C-rated is what it feels like watching as an AEW mark myself. I would like to see them split the roster in half.
Yeah.
And say, here's what we're doing. We're doing back in the day how Raw divided the roster, SmackDown divided the roster, and we are not intersecting this ish and doing it much better than Vince did by eventually allowing interlaying, talents come into Raw and those come to no. Right. Let it build over a couple of years, at least, maybe 3 years first. It gets more talent on television that are very talented on that roster. How many times have we heard this? AEW is a place where there's so many talents that go to get buried because they don't get on television, right? Well, this is the way to solve that equation.
Yeah.
I always think that they should. I always think AEW's big thing, in my opinion, is they need to start. Like, I don't want to say labeling things, but like, yes, Dynamite is your A show. I feel like they don't want to say one's not the A show, but it's like, yes, just say it. This is the A show. This is the B show. And I think it's okay if you have all your stars on Dynamite and all the, for lack of a better term, B stars on Collision. And like, people like watching wrestlers develop and like grow too. It's okay to not have all the stars on Collision.
Jack, let me add to that point. That B show in WWE world was called SmackDown, where you had Eddie Guerrero, Chris Benoit, I know I'm supposed to mention him, but I am, Edge, Christian, and so many other talents that eventually became Brock Lesnar, etc. Rob Van Dam, that ended up becoming the cooler show. We were kicking Raw's ass at one point. You can go back and look it up in history, folks. I'm not making this up. It was considered the B show. And Paul Heyman made sure he got himself his SmackDown 6, including I left out Rey Mysterio in that equation. I was a huge part of that equation. And Kurt Angle as well. So it just goes to show you, get them competitive with each other and treat it the same way they did back then. Because that A show, Raw was a flagship show, but I'm sorry, SmackDown, when those folks started to be on the come up, the Edges, the Kurtz, Rays, etc., John Cena even started to put their foot up Raw's what, rating wise. You can look it up, folks. I'm not making it up.
And you could also make it different than how WWE did it. Like, you don't need separate titles for each show, right? Like the champions could go between the shows. You could. There are ways you could do it different where it doesn't seem like you're just doing what WWE did, but. They have so many people on that roster that
they're very talented, very good. Yeah.
So I think they could do a lot of stuff like that. But we talked about Raw. Raw happened today, and so I want to make sure we discuss some of the stuff that happened on there. We started the show with CM Punk getting on the microphone and chatting it up with Gunther. Took some shots at each other. Raj, how do you think they did selling us on SummerSlam?
I just feel like as a babyface, CM Punk should have had the last word in. Like it was kind of Gunther saying the last thing and Punk's just standing there. And I don't know. And granted, next week, Punk will probably get, his moment to shine. But I just feel like I don't like when a babyface is just dressed down and doesn't say anything back.
And left with her, what we call in the business, you're bleeping your hand. That's what the thing is called. But I agree with that. I just literally our first episode, saying how, folks, newsflash, Gunther's probably your favorite wrestler right now that's live on television.
Mm-hmm.
The only downside is the promos, and I don't think he delivered in this promo tonight. He didn't do anything wrong. He didn't. He gave the stern, how do I say this? Don't disrespect him because I'm a huge fan of him. But not one trick pony, but one toned type of promo that Gunther still always cuts, and he doesn't know how to go up levels. If you guys are watching, I'm trying to crescendo with each of my promos here with my hands. He still's not figured out how to do that. And this promo really called for it, because when he hit his big hammer at the end of the promo of, and these folks will keep cheering you, it didn't have the exclamation mark on it it was supposed to have, because Gunther has not gotten enough mic time. As crazy as you may think I sound right now, he's not had nearly enough microphone time to deliver these main event promos to say, come see me, come pay money to see me get my bleep kicked by this guy tonight. He's still not figured out how to do that on the microphone. And I'm not disrespecting him. He's regurgitating the crap they write for him. But he's got to figure that gear out eventually. Wrestling has gears in a match. Raj, I can talk for 15 minutes about the gears of a match, from the heat spot to the comeback, etc., etc. You have to have the same gear shifting when you're in a main event promo to make people buy in and buy a ticket to say, oh, F this guy. I want to see him get his ass kicked. And it can't just be because CM Punk's more popular than the heel. No, it has to be because the heel is so dastardly and such a, you know what, that I want to pay my bonus check to see him get his ass kicked and pay for my whole family to come watch it, actually. And I don't think he picked that up in that promo. Punk carried that promo in the beginning, putting him over. I don't think Gunther did the same on the follow-up.
I will say I love Gunther, but I also, to your point, it does feel like a lot of his stories since he's been champion,
they're the same.
It's really what the person coming after the title is doing. His rivalry with Jey Uso was really Jey Uso going up against a big bad champion. And now CM Punk, it feels like CM Punk going up against a big bad champion. Goldberg going up a big band. It's not really Gunther's if that make Gunther's story. It's like he's part of someone else's.
And can I just capitalize on that real quick, Raj? I was going to say, Raj, to add to Jack's point, that's what makes Punk a pro, because Punk capitalized that for him. He got over Gunther more than most of his opponents so far has gotten him over. Talking about his Intercontinental reign, his 2-time championship reign. This is why this guy's the man right now. Gunther's in the ring literally telling Punk, you're not the best in the world. The best in the world is the heavyweight champion. And Punk's literally nodding in agreement, body language, right? I'm like, what else do you need? He needs to learn a different level of getting to the vitriol of F you. I'm the best in this business. I'm your favorite pro wrestler. And it can't just be because, oh, well, he speaks English, so we can't say, oh, he doesn't speak English, and he has an accent that gets in the way of it. No, his accent does not get in the way of it. He's got to start being more creative in these main event promos. He has to.
Yeah, as a character, I don't find him that interesting.
It's boring. It's the same promo all the time. In the last 3 promos, like Jack just pointed out, he's right.
Yeah.
Yes,
you see on the same show, you see Punk, you see Rhea Ripley, you see Roman Reigns, and it's just just different.
Yeah, we got Sheamus and Rusev. They had a matchup that was a heavy hitting one. Those two are now 1-1. Matt, what?
Jack, I get you're a good sport about things. You don't want to disrespect pro wrestlers. I love you as a former pro wrestler, not disrespecting them. Did you really give a you-know-what about this match? Be real.
I was going to ask you about that, actually, Matt, because Rusev came in with a lot of fanfare coming back from AEW. Everyone's excited.
I was in the beginning.
I felt coming into this, like they're two big. I love when two big dudes beat each other up. But you're right. I felt like I knew Sheamus was going to get the win, so it could be 1-1. I know we're getting the rubber match in a little bit. It just felt very.
Do you want the rubber match, Jack? Time out. Do you want the rubber match, Raj? Do you want this rubber match? I don't. I don't care.
I don't care. I feel like Rusev needs Lana or something. So, something. He's just.
But Raj, would you bring him in there and put him against Sheamus from the beginning? No, I would not have. You're bringing him into your company. Use him to his full. AEW did do one thing right with him. They brought him in. You guys wearing a pink shirt. I have no problem with that. In his debut with AEW, not saying nothing, but in fighting over arcade.
When he was in the arcade fanboy stuff.
Yeah, I know. Hang on, work with me. He eventually got to a point where we started doing the whole God stuff. That started to click with AEW fans, and of course, Tony blew that when it happened. My point is, he has the capacity if you book him right, and this is where all you WWE creative writers earn your damn check. You can't get that guy over. There's something wrong with you. Don't book him in mediocrity. Don't book him in. Well, Matt Sheamus is a real fan favorite, and he's been there. Yes, he is. But not when you're bringing a talent back to your company. You got to put him over a top star to really lump fans over the head with the branding hammer. This is a top guy in our company now, and they didn't do that.
Well, I think it's uphill for him too if he's just having matches, because if you're talking about someone who's a big, unbeatable force, you've got Braun Breaker, you've got Bronson Reed, you've got Jacob Fatu, you've got a lot of people that are already checking that box. So there's got to be something different than just banger matchup with Sheamus, because I've got a bunch of them already that can do that.
But he just lost. So the mystique is already dead. He lost. It's done. I don't like it. Sorry. I hated the match.
Well, we had a triple threat tag team match, and I know that this is Raj's favorite situation when you have more than two people in the match. LWO get the win. They're going to be the number one contenders for the tag team championships. After Grande Americano and Dragon Lee got involved, those two, of course, had some issues on backstage. Raj, tell me, I want to hear, how many stars did you rate this match?
I just don't get why they're what they're doing with the New Day, because the New Day are so above the other teams in this match.
I agree.
So why are they the ones taking the loss?
I don't know. And by the way, Consequences Creed, I texted him this. Don't change your gear ever from this moment forward. You look great in trunks. You look shredded. You look muscular. And I don't know what this company is doing with you, brother, or your partner. You guys should never lose, in my opinion. That's just me.
I kind of agree. It's like one of these teams is not like the other. I mean, the New Day are the stars.
Yeah. Yes.
And the other ones just look like they're, everyday guys.
Raj, you're 100% right.
I will say, for WWE they've been so great about giving us like structure and story and things, but sometimes when you can tell they're going through motions, it becomes really tough, because I have zero belief in the LWO becoming the tag team champions. Yeah. And so now we've got a match built up that I have absolutely zero belief in it going one way or the other. And you're right, with the New Day, I feel like they are so good.
Yes.
And American Made, they're talented in the ring. They were great in NXT, but like, what have you done for me lately? Is kind of the thing with them.
Can we call a spade a spade? One brother laughs. The overweight brother laughs at a lot of weird things and weird moments that he's programmed and scripted to laugh in the middle of a match, which looks very uncomfortable. It doesn't look natural. It never does. While his less charismatic brother is insanely talented in the ring, and I think there's something there one day with him. He needs to figure out who he is, and I think if the company's serious, they need to give that brother, that Creed brother, his own opportunity as a single talent, because I think he'll deliver one day. I do. But it's going to take some building, because right now, with relying on his brother, laughing at everything, It's not enough for them to be a tag team act. It's corny as hell. We all see through it, and it's corny.
Yeah, they're not interesting.
And Raj, let me get your thoughts on Grande Americano, because I love Grande Americano. When this came out, I was super like this. He's super entertaining. This was the first time I saw him, and I thought, okay, I'm ready for the next step in this story. Like it feels like we're in the same story beat of, well, who is he? I'm ready for the next step in that story. Am I being too impatient, Raj, or is this still not
because he's hurt? Yeah, I will answer that for Raj.
Yeah.
Yes, you're being too impatient because the dude's hurt.
I saw him on TV today.
It's not the same. It's not the same without Chad Gable.
Raj, make him take it back now. Make him take it back, Raj.
I'm standing by my.
Well, it's Ludwig Kaiser now, and it's just not the same. It's just not the same as when Chad Gable was doing it.
Wait, am I really that big of a mark? I did not know that.
Yeah. Chad Gable's been gone.
I thought it was the uncharismatic. Come on,
you
said them
American
earlier.
Made guy.
Yes.
No, it's Ludwig Kaiser.
Okay, well, there you go. I did not know that.
I don't think it's. I think he's his own person. He's been a legend in Mexico.
Right?
How
dare you? He teamed with Juan Cena for a long time.
That was good. That was good, Zach.
We had a lot of the women's wrestlers really intertwined throughout this show today.
Yeah,
especially Stephanie Vaquer, who seemed to be tied in with everything, which I think is a great move because she's absolutely
like a star-making performance. Like she was already getting there, but I just felt like she really came off like a big star.
Can we, for the love of Christ, if nobody's gonna say, I love that Corey kind of pointed to it tonight. Thank you, Corey, for being the best in the business at what you do. Not Pat McAfee. The perversion of Booker's comments on it, it takes away from how freaking talented she is, and he just gets a you-know-what for her move that she does, right, with her legs driving the dude. Like, that's a move many female and male talents have done over the years, including Tajiri. I didn't hear him talking like that when they were doing it, but he is with her. In respect, that's his game if that's what he's doing. But it takes away from her, and it minimizes a very, very excellent female wrestler that she has what the kids call aura in flipping spades. She doesn't have to talk in the microphone, even though she can hold her own. She doesn't have to. Her facial expressions. Go back and watch this match right here, the main event match. Go back and watch it. Tell me between her and Io Sky, besides Io Sky doing this at her crescendo of her high spot she hit, besides that, tell me between those two talents who non-verbally got more over in that match tonight. Without question, it's Stephanie Vaquer. Without question.
Yeah. She is such a superstar, and I feel like she was a superstar. I mean, I'm not going to pretend I followed her in Mexico or anything, but when I saw her back when she was on AEW, I was like, oh,
yes.
Wow. Right. This is
same here. Same exact thought, Jack, when I watched her on that. I'm like, wait, what?
Yeah, it was like, who is this? Like
AEW caught one here. That's what I kept thinking. AEW caught their next main event star. Good for them. And they blew it nonetheless.
Well, really I thought they booked it well tonight too. I thought they did a really good job.
Oh my God. Go ahead, Jack. You got to finish.
No, I was gonna say the match her and Io had again was great. I will say I'm getting a little tired of we're going to throw a great match on just to have some people run out and ruin it. I feel like WWE leans on that a little bit.
They do. Too much. Jack, come on, Jack. Chelsea Green's worth this.
She is worth
Chelsea Green to me is 1,000% worth this throwaway at the end.
She is, though.
She's so over. She makes everybody emotionally invest in her with respect to those prior two talents. More than both those prior two talents, including Stephanie Vaquer, which I don't like admitting, but it's a fact. She does. She eviscerates people making an emotional investment in her. It's weird with her too, what do you call them? Bodyguards coming out there and doing it nobody cares about. That's true. But when she got out there, listen to the reaction, right? And then super crescendoing that reaction was Mommy. And just huge superstar entrance when Rhea came out there. I'm sorry. I will argue that pop was big as Roman's tonight. You guys think I'm crazy? I'm not. It was just as loud.
Oh, I think Rhea is such a star, and Raj, I want your thoughts on this. I think Rhea is almost such a star. It's almost like a problem. Like, she's such a big star. What do you do with her? You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it reminds me a little bit like when Jade was in AEW, Jade Cargill, and it was like, she's such a star.
Yeah.
What do you do with her where you can put her in an interesting situation? Because there's only a handful of people you can put in the ring with Rhea Ripley that doesn't feel like, oh, she's going to kill this person.
Yeah.
Like Bianca, Jade. There's a few, but yeah, I mean, and you can't always have them wrestling for the title too, right?
Right.
And yeah, so you kind of get stuck a little bit, but that's a good problem to have.
Yeah, no, it is. It is. It is.
It is.
It's a lot better than being the what do we do with this person who has no talent?
Right.
There you go. He was not getting over and getting crickets. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. But we
boy, just we reiterate, easy for me to say one more time. That Rhea Ripley pop was insanity.
Yeah.
Crazy.
You could build a company around just the women's roster that we saw tonight, not even just the whole of WWE. I mean, the Io Sky, Stephanie Vaquer, Chelsea Green, Rhea Ripley. But we also had earlier in the night, Bayley and Lyra Valkyria versus Roxanne and Raquel, which was also had Naomi involved in that one. I mean,
and Naomi was involved in that one at the end as well, to be fair.
Yes.
But I was gonna say, I'm trying to like Lyra. I'm trying to get into it because I know she's going through the learning curve all of us go through to eventually graduate to a main event match, right? I get that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still not seeing it on the promo front. She's great in the ring. They've got lots of great girls that are great in the ring that are better on the microphone than her right now.
That being said, Naomi, she's like really found her groove with this.
Oh God, Naomi? That's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about Lyra.
Yeah, right. But I'm just saying, like in that segment, and Naomi is just really like she has really found her groove, like with this heel turn and everything.
Oh God, yeah. The problem is we're cheering for her, though. To be fair, we should not be cheering for her, but we are in a way because she's so entertaining doing it, right?
Yeah.
The same way we all cheer Green as well.
Yeah.
Right?
She's a perfect example of why, like, a lot of times people say, like, oh, this person's garbage, get him off my TV or whatever. And someone like Naomi's someone who, I'll be honest, for a long time I was like, I don't know if she's got it. It's just not clicking with me. But then when she started getting into this role, I'm like, oh, this is perfect. This is awesome. And so, like, sometimes it takes a minute to find that, like, that character that fits you. But man, Naomi, she's absolutely become must-see TV when she's on.
No, she's maximizing her minutes, right? As Jim Ross would say. Absolutely, positively. She's waited for this for a long time. Went to TNA to come back. Do we have any comments that we want to address here, Jeff? I'm not saying
Jeff Bailey's saying Lyra is great. I think her promos get better every week.
Yes, they are getting better. You're not wrong. I just don't like, to be fair to her, she's being compared to Bayley, and in my opinion, the GOAT. And I just don't think that's fair right now to compare the two. One of them's carrying that angle, if not two of them. She's still going to do it right now because people thought the same thing with Brock Lesnar. I couldn't cut a promo. They paired him with Paul Heyman, right? And many other talents that, remember, people didn't think Edge could talk. Remember that?
Right.
That was a real thing. So we got to give her reps, got to give her time in the ring physically. She's impressive as hell. There's no doubt about it. I want to see her improve on the microphone and find herself more, and it's going to come.
I'd say with where she's been at, to her defense, and look, she's in there, like you said, with some of the very best. She's kind of in a confusing spot as a character where, like, she was supposed to team with Bayley, but then Bayley was injured, but then now she's teaming with Becky, but now Becky's her enemy, but now Bayley's her enemy, but now Bayley's teaming with her, but is Bayley and Becky working together, but now Becky's stopping Bayley from winning. And there's this, like, if I'm that character, I don't really know where I'm supposed to be coming from either. Because
I'll tell it to you. Sister, get yourself over. I don't care what they write for you. I made this mistake multiple times in my career. Just because they write what they write for you doesn't mean you have to say every single thing they write for you. Get yourself over. If you feel something different in a promo, get yourself over first. Because if you do that, they can't take it back. If you get yourself over and the crowd pops for you, then they're like, oh, we didn't write that for you. They have to swallow that whole. They have to deep throat it because you did that on your own accord.
Mm-hmm. Good advice. See, wrestlers, I hope you're tuning in here.
Making enough mistakes in a promo. Yes.
I want to get to the end of the show here, and that was Roman Reigns and Paul Heyman having their first face-to-face since WrestleMania.
Good.
Paul wanted to realign with Roman, but Reigns was not having it. Reigns says Paul will take all the credit for when Braun Breaker is the star of the company, which will be soon enough. Reigns says Heyman ruined the bloodline, and Braun says that he's the here and now. And Roman's yesterday's news. That was 5 years ago, Roman. Reigns tries to put up a fight, but is eventually beaten up until Jey Uso comes and makes the save. This was a great way to end the show, I thought. A show that, I'll be honest, I thought was a little slow, but then they always get me at the end. WWE knows how to do this. Matt, any thoughts on this one?
I love Bronson Reed. I know him personally, and when he got first injured, I was one of the first people to reach out to him and tell him, like, brother, when one door closes, it's not just a cliche. 5 more are going to open for you. And the company believes in you, obviously. You're going to get a bigger spot out of this. I'll bet my house on it. And I was right. And he messaged me back like, holy ish, you were right. But while I root for him, Bronson Reed, I think like they're not doing him favors putting him in that spot where he has to think about it. He is going to have to now be the bump guy between him and Braun Breaker. And I'm sorry, between him and Braun Breaker, he's bigger. He's more impressed as Diesel and jacked as Braun Breaker is. You don't put, I don't know what the analogy would be for other wrestlers for you guys to understand this, but they need Seth to be part of this for this 3-person angle to work properly, and it's not working without him there. Matt, there's going to fast forward to Braun Breaker being the guy. He's going to get more opportunities. I love that way more than you all could ever know because it's going to push Braun Breaker to cut better promos. I was hoping, like I told you guys before the show, that Roman had a revisitation to the John Cena promo and was telling Braun to keep up with him verbally. Hey, son, this is called a promo. ... But WWE was not willing to, look down that angle, and that's okay. But it was a great promo. I love Roman's smoothness in there, if nothing else for his Jordan Air Jordan cements, red and white. Oh, yeah. Fire.
Yeah,
fire.
Yeah. Roman has a good shoe game.
I would murder somebody for those if I'm keeping it a buck. I'm a huge Jordan collector for shoes. Yeah. Anyways, they don't make them my clown size very often. But nonetheless, great promo, great in-ring. I want to see them do more to establish Bronson Reed. I think they have to do more than the, what's it called? Typhoon, Monsoon, what do they call it in the corner when he does his finisher?
The Tsunami.
I was close.
Yeah.
They've got to do more to continue to establish him. If Seth's not coming back in recent times, they have to do way more to get him on the mic. Something to really establish him. Because even though there was 2 against 1 with Paul in there, I was never fearful of Roman at all getting his ass kicked. Not once.
Yeah, Raj, I want your thoughts on what we saw in the main event section of the night, but also Danny C's asking, is Seth really out for a long time? Chuck says, any news on Seth's injury? Jeff Bailey is theorizing that Seth will be back at SummerSlam to cash in.
Could be.
Raj, any thoughts on Seth Rollins' injury? And do you think if he is coming back sooner than we think, are they being a little too obvious about it by Heyman saying again tonight he's going to be out for a very long time? Are they kind of teasing a little too much if he comes back early?
Well, I guess what do you say though? Otherwise,
maybe just don't say it. Maybe he forget.
Can I be honest? Both Raj and Jack, I'm going to cut you off, Raj. I would be impressed if Seth came back and did cash in
Yeah.
And that's what happened to get Punk out, because I do not want to see Punk lose to Gunther. He cannot afford another loss. I don't like the loss, even to Gunther, as respect as I have for him.
Yeah.
No way. And so I was hoping for that interference and hoping for the cash in. And we all are just, and by the way, he still could be effed up. And let me be clear, but he can still deliver a curb stomp with his good leg in a perfect world, or whatever the finish is, to win the title, smack him. He doesn't have to do that. He can smack any one of the two that are about to go over in that match with the briefcase and the freaking mush. 1, 2, 3. Thanks for coming. I'm your new champion. By the way, I'm not coming back for another 5 or 6 months.
I mean, if it's a work, it's really well done. Like they're doing a good job with it, you know. But that being said, you know, that would be a nice way to take the title off of Gunther and not and get back to Punk and Seth and not have Punk get beat. Because I do agree with you, Matt. I think they've beaten Punk too many times already. And he needs a run at the title, honestly.
I agree.
And then I thought that main event segment, man, you know, sometimes wrestling can be fun watching just alphas going at it, you know. And it was just as alpha as you could get. And it was.
Hey, Raj, you're a slightly bigger Roman mark than me, and I'm a huge Roman mark. I compared him last week on our last episode to our generation Stone Cold, Rock. I skipped over seeing it for folks keeping score at home, because I think Roman's that big box office. Can you tell WWE, Raj? I know you got a plug in there somewhere. Just stop playing the beginning of his music and just get to the hook of the song. Please. Please. It's the best song, but we have to wait like 5 minutes to get to it. No.
It's a long entrance for sure.
No, that's the main hook, because it's so original.
It does take a little bit to get where it needs to go in that entrance. But Roman's like, listen, I got to fill up a certain amount of time, and that's the easiest part.
You got to milk it. You got to milk it.
You're not going nowhere. Who are you kidding, man, Morgan? He's not wrong. I'm there.
We're going to add 2 minutes to the beginning of my song.
He's not wrong.
You know, T. Smitty in the chat with a super chat. Thank you, T. Smitty. Says, did you guys hear that Trick Williams promo during the break? Star making promo. Bronson has to stop letting everyone pick him up. Be a big man. So,
God, I agree with that.
That used to bug me with the Giant back in the day, with Paul White back in the day. He would let too many people do power moves to where it didn't mean as much.
I'll let John Cena body slam me in my very first match. How stupid was that?
Yeah, it's like that's got to be special.
Nonetheless, this is what, you know. But hang on, go back to that first. What was the first part? I didn't see.
First part is, did you hear the Trick Williams promo during the break?
Oh man,
it was on social.
It was something they've been doing. They've been having promos during the break that they only release on social. So I saw someone post it. I didn't get a chance to listen to it though. Trick Williams is a star in the making, I think.
Yes. Yes.
I'm in on Trick Williams stock.
Exclamation mark. Yes.
Yeah. In fact, he's one of those guys. It's kind of where Braun Breaker was in NXT before he got called up, where I'm like, dude, you're overpowered. You've already done everything there is to do in NXT. There's no one in NXT I think can beat you. Just go to the main roster already. And
he's got a little bit more promo to him than Braun did at this time.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah. He's smooth as hell.
He's really good.
Yeah, he's going to be a superstar.
Here it is. Yeah.
But that's the show. We covered all of Raw. I thought overall this week, I thought that Raw was, I'll be honest, I wasn't that thrilled by Raw. It felt like a holiday episode, like when you watch it on like the 4th of July or something. They're like, okay, this isn't like, they're kind of phoning it in. But then that main one, the Io Sky, Stephanie Vaquera match, I was like, okay, that's awesome. And then the Roman Reigns, Paul Heyman segment, I was like, that's awesome. They got me at the end. They understand entertainment. You remember the end, and that's what I remember.
What do you think of Raquel, guys? This is a real shot in the dark, but what do you think of Raquel Rodriguez, her improvement while Liv is out? Do you guys not see her getting more material and more opportunities to shine? As I watch, the reason I say it is because I watched I don't know where I saw this. It was an interview with her where somebody tried to like call her out at a left field. Go, Kevin Nash says you're not working like a big man or a big girl.
Right.
But I take that seriously. He really said that. Okay, then I got to go back and make sure I'm protecting my size, etc. I loved hearing that as a big man myself. I loved hearing that answer from her, and now I'm rooting for her moving forward. I am.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, when you've got something that sets you apart, work to that strength, like, and I feel like, man, I feel like Roxanne, she's really stepped it up with Liv Gone, and
I agree.
I think they've been really good.
Can I ask you one more question to be a sizist? Guys, I'm 6'11" 3/4, not quite
right.
6'11" 3/4. Anyways,
but your build is 7 foot.
Yeah. I'm one of the few that were built a 1/4 inch hard, and they really are, versus others that were never 7 feet. But nonetheless, they're like 3 inches off. But let me ask you this. When you see her, like when I watched the tag match get set up tonight and they were walking down the aisle in their entrance, do you think it helps her to stand next to Raquel Rodriguez, like towering over her like that, where she looks like a child?
I think for her, it's okay because that's kind of
she's so over at this point with her character. You think it's okay?
Yeah, and it's not the same.
You were thinking that. I wanted your opinion.
It's I think of it as kind of like a Rey Mysterio thing, where like he's supposed to kind of look smaller than everybody else.
Okay,
and I think it makes Raquel look even bigger. So I think that's a double win. And I want to say Raquel, I think she deserves a lot of credit too for her. Like her acting and stuff, and like it feels like she's getting a lot more lines backstage, and her being uncertain about like who this person is that she's supposed to work with, and I think she's getting some range in there that she otherwise wouldn't have gotten.
Before you answer that, Raj, really quick, she's the biggest badass in that entire group right now, including all the Judgment Day members, and that's why I like it because it works perfectly with all of their characters.
Yeah, no, I feel like she's really stepped it up.
Sorry.
Yeah. I feel like she's really stepped it up too, and you can see her she's taking Nash's advice too. Like you could kind of see that tonight, where she was working bigger, like using her size to her advantage, which I thought was great.
And what was cool about the interview, whoever did that with her, was that she answered that ish in real time.
Yeah,
she was like, "Wait, what? What did you say?"
Yeah,
Nash said that. Well, maybe I need to listen to it.
Right.
Maybe I need to go back to drawing board and see what he's talking about working bigger.
And it wasn't one of these where it's like, oh, I'm just going to ignore advice from someone else. She really respected that advice.
Well, we can see it playing out in real time, like the improvement. I'm just saying it because I love Kevin Boyd. It's nothing to do with it. I love that she's a student of the flipping game. I love that. And we get to watch it in real time. Her improvement. Everybody thought when Liv went down, oh God, Judgment Day's in trouble, because she was a huge part of the entertaining act. Yeah, I would say she was. And I'm very, very appreciative for Raquel being willing to step it up. And by the way, get herself more over in the process. I love it.
It's got to be tough, Matt, for things like working like a big person to do that, but also not feel like you're being that person that's like,
I'm not bumping.
I'm not. But how do you like? It's got to be tough to because it's true. If you're a big person, you shouldn't be. But at the same time, you also don't want to be that guy at the same time.
You don't want to no sell everything.
I don't sell anything, and I hit my 3 moves. 1, 2, 3, it's over.
So the time you let it dissipate is when you're in a main event match first, like for example, a Kurt Angle, and you let him German you because that's Kurt flipping Angle, and you're not Kurt Angle yet.
Right.
Or somebody in that. But if you watch her match tonight in this tag match, she absolutely protected her size to perfection. She was throwing tackles. As boring as people in today's generation may think that is, it's not boring. It adds to the layer from once her partner got in and was able to do some of the higher spots. It added more to that. I love where she's at right now, and I'm very, very proud of her. Not even knowing her, I'm very proud of her.
Yeah. Well, this has been a very fun week. This is only our second episode, and I feel like we're getting better and better every time we're on here. That's 2 in a row. But before we go, I want to thank everyone who's in the chat here and joined us throughout. Jeff Bailey, T. Smitty, Danny C., Bigfoot Sneakerhead. We had Chuck coming through, Chet, and a lot of other folks. Don't have time to read everybody, but appreciate you all coming through. If you want to be a part of the chat, again, make sure to hit the subscribe button and join along. If you can't be a part of the live chat, hit the comment section. All three of us are pretty good about going into the comment section and being a part of those as well. Before we go, though, I want to make sure we go around and let everyone know where you can find the rest of us. Raj, where can the world find you and all the stuff you're working on?
I'm on Twitter, the Raj Geary, and that's about it.
Yep. And you can find me at Real Jack Farmer across all social media and see the stuff I'm working on. Matt, just to show that I'm an honest guy, by the way, I was digging through my laptop and I found this gem of a photo I took at that Bound for Glory where we saw Sting in his final match. That was where I was sitting, angle. But so I was there at that Bound for Glory. But where can the world find you and all the fun stuff? By the way, Jack, the photographer, look at that shot with the spotlight coming down on the Stinger. He was looking right at me going, "Hey, Jack, good to see you in the crowd."
So you want to hear something nuts? That would I had done 2 main events previous to that, but it was always a 3-way between me, Sting, and Kurt, or me, Kurt, and somebody else. Mm-hmm. So that was my first release main event, me versus Kurt. And then it was a double main event and Sting versus AJ. I did not have that in my head that was the 6-sided ring. I swear to God, I thought we already had graduated past that. In retrospect in my brain, I got to go back and watch that match with Kurt. I thought it was a 4 normal, squared circle, but wow, that really just brought back a lot of memories you shared in that video. But easier answer is Raj thinks he's so over. He has to call himself the Raj Geary. Jack thinks he's so over. He has to call himself Real Jack Farmer versus the fake Jack Farmer. Guys, I keep it a buck with everybody that watches here. I'm BP Matt Morgan on Instagram and Twitter. X, I'm old. And Facebook, it's just Matt Morgan. Thanks for playing. Thanks for being here.
Well, again, thank you guys so much for being a part of the show. Make sure to, again, like, comment, share, subscribe. It's new, so those shares really matter. And make sure to check out the whole slate of shows here on Podcast Heat Wrestling. That does it for us. We are hitting the end stream button. Boop.
Dope.